Hey Gage, what brings you in today? I'm Dr. Parks.
What brings me in today? Well, I've been having some like low back pain, kind of almost like shooting down my right leg too.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear about that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate that low back pain?
Whew. 10's the worst. I'd probably say on average it's like a 7 or
Okay,
so throughout the day.
7. It's
Yeah.
pretty bad, pretty serious. How did this injury occur or pain start?
Well, I was doing some gardening in my garden since the weather's been nice, and yeah, I just think it's been like through overuse. I've been having this for like the last 3 weeks or so. So yeah.
Okay. And I'm guessing you enjoy gardening, so this is something you do quite often.
Yeah, no, I love growing fresh fruit and vegetables. And
Okay.
yeah, I'd love to get back to it.
All right, that's awesome. Well, so thank you for coming in today. And do you have any questions before I continue our consult?
Roughly like how much is each visit, do you think?
You mean financially wise?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends on if you do or do not have insurance. So do you have insurance?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So insurance, depending on your insurance, will cover all or most of the visit. Some do a deductible, some do full coverage for up to anywhere from 20 to 50 visits for each injury.
Okay.
Yes.
Sweet.
So that would be more of a after we're done or after our first visit, if we decide to continue, we would then communicate with your insurance and see what your coverage is like.
Okay, sweet.
So any other questions?
I think that's it.
Okay, well thank you for coming and seeing me today. So I'm a manual physical therapist, and so I specialize in physical techniques to release myofascia within your muscles. So it sounds like you were having muscle pain and overuse of in your lower back from doing gardening. And so what our next step would be after this consult would be to do a examination on your movement patterns, and within those movement patterns, what would be hurting you and what would be strong within those movement patterns. So does that make sense so far?
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then from there, after I assess with the movement patterns, I then would administer myofascial release with certain hand techniques. And then after the muscle is released, we then would start with strengthening, and that you would do either with me here in the clinic with one of my trainers or me myself, or you could do that at home, vice versa.
Okay, gotcha.
Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, I think it does.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in today, and let's get to it.
Sweet.